sure that we uplift our brother Botham Jones. It was important that we made sure that we allowed our voices to continue to resonate throughout the week to make sure that we honor this life that yet was lost. After this rally, I asked each of you, and some of you wasn't out there on Monday, to join me at Dallas City Hall at 12 noon to demand justice, to demand that the mayor acknowledge his lack of effort and a lack of ability to change policy so that we won't continue to yet be here. And I just want to thank all of you who came out, who sacrificed, and some of you that had the intent but wasn't able to do it. But I want you to know that the people that showed up, we made history on that day. That's right, that's right. We made history on that day. We was able to effectively shut down business as usual in Dallas City Hall. That's right. That's right. Because we want to send the signal out is that if we can't breathe, we can't live, we can't sit on our couch of our living room, yet you can't sit behind that horseshoe doing business as usual. How many times have we yet been here over and over again? How many times have we went on our social media account just clicking on the next hashtag? I had to look at the reporting of my social media, and I've noticed that in the last year, I've hashtagged somebody's name over probably about 1,500 times. So that means there was about 1,500 bodies that yet needed a hashtag. How many times do we yet come out here for another hashtag and yet let our elected leaders sit behind the desks and chairs that yet we vote for them to sit behind? And yet they feel like they don't have to yet be held accountable for us, yet they don't have to answer to us. And yet what we did on Wednesday showed them that they are alive. That's right. That's right. That the people united is not going to stand for this in the city of Dallas no more. We're not going to stand for this in North Texas no more. We're not going to stand for this in this country. And we must educate ourselves. Now guess what? There are two individuals that's going around with clipboards. How many people registered to vote today?
Right here, I'm Hammer.
How many hands registered to vote? Your hand ain't up, and you got if you don't know, you got a doubt in your mind. I want you to find the two people that got a clipboard that got green cards. I want you to meet them and get registered to vote.
Right next to it.
This election is too yet important for you not to be yet in that ballot box. It's too yet important. Your silence at that ballot box empowers 46 minus 1 who we got at 1600 Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
It continues to embolden him. It continues to allow him to have his agenda. I remember the other day someone stood up and said, we need the DOJ to come into Dallas. I said, the same DOJ that's ran by Jeff Sessions? No, we okay. We okay. We are A-okay, I promise you. But at the same time, we have to continue to come here. And yet, on Thursday, I believe everybody in the activist community said this one thing in unison. That we're going to come together in a moment of silence to respect the family, to honor this young man, and just make sure that the city of Dallas mourn the loss of the life that they have taken. We asked Mayor Rollins, but he was too coward to tell y'all that we actually asked him to do this. He was too coward enough to tell y'all that we asked him to do this, to lower the flags at half staff.
That's right.
Yeah.
He didn't tell you that story, but that's what we demanded that he do, to make sure that this city honors the life that it took.
That's right, baby. That's right, baby.
But on that day, during this funeral, local media felt like it was yet relatively important. It was so important that it couldn't wait on Friday.
Yeah.
It was so important that it couldn't wait on Saturday. It was so important that it couldn't wait on Sunday or the day after. That yet they had found drugs
That's right, baby.
We don't care what was in
in his house. But quite frankly, I really don't
It's
give,
irrelevant.
That's right.
I don't care.
He's not on the crowd.
He's planted it.
Ask the Maryland Police Department. They could have planted it.
What was in her apartment?
There you go.
So
That's right.
Her apartment.
So real quick,
Yeah. He's a criminal.
but the
80%.
lack of journalism didn't ask why they didn't search her apartment.
There you go.
She was able to yet move out of her apartment. She was given privileges that this family wasn't able to get privileges of. This family wasn't able to move out his belongings. Yet no accountability was there. We didn't find out a lot of the information, yet the community had to tell us that yet this woman had continued to file complaints against Mr. Johnson.
Motive.
We had to go there and find out the community saying that they heard her banging on his door.
But he's controlled 80% of the community.
But at the same time, we're here today because what we are not going to do is allow this man's name to be tarnished, drugged in the mud.
No.
That's right.
His life matter. Our life matter.
That's right.
That's right.
And until Black Lives Matter in this city,
Everywhere.
That's right.
we're going to continue to allow our voices to be heard loud and clear. So
No
what I'm
justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have one of the family's attorney Lee Merritt, to come up here and talk about a few words and talk about some of the things that get the family, because one of the things that we want to do is support and back the family 110%.
No question.
On what they want us to be able to do. And one thing we sent to Chief Hugh Renee Hall today is that we want this officer fired.
Yes.
Should have been there. No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
I was hoping he would have asked me to come up here. I was hoping he would have asked me to come up here because I have something called a bad equilibrium.
Deep breath.
All right. I want to point out something. Somebody said, how common is it for law enforcement officers? I was actually, some of y'all might have caught this, but I was speaking to a national network, TMZ, earlier, and they said, wow, that's amazing that they would try to use evidence of so-called drugs in his apartment to besmirch his name, to smear his character. And they caught me in a moment of honesty. I said, you all find that amazing?
Right. Nothing new.
I said, well, how common is that? Tomorrow there's a funeral in Arlington of a young man named O'Shea Terry. He was killed a week ago Saturday. Yes, in Arlington. By Arlington Police Department. The Arlington Police Department did the same thing they did, the Dallas Police Department did in this case. First, they came up with a false narrative. A lie.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
They said that the officer claimed that his arm was caught in O'Shea's door and he had no choice but to pull his weapon and shoot him several times. O'Shea was killed, a video was released demonstrating that that was in fact a lie. That he didn't want that car to leave, and so he pulled out his gun, he stuck it through the window, he grabbed a hold of the door, and he shot him 5 times. That's right. Now, Dallas County jury just decided that to shoot up a car that you don't want to leave is murder.
That's right.
Because Roy Oliver did that to stop the car
That's Jordan Edwards.
of Jordan Edwards.
That's right.
And in that case, they came up with first a false narrative. And they said the reason that brave Roy Oliver had to stop that car is because it was hurling toward an officer.
That was a lie.
That was a lie. Video evidence proved that that car was not approaching him at all. He didn't want that car to leave, and so he filled it full of holes, despite it being occupied by 5 non-violent, beautiful teenage boys.
Yes, right.
And so I started thinking about what they did in that case, and this is a matter of public record. Go read Roy Oliver's response to our civil suit in that case. You'll find that his first response was those boys were gangbangers.
Always.
They said they found gunpowder on Jordan Edwards' hand
Always.
after he tainted the crime scene. And so you had this assassination of his character. That same assassination that you see happening in this case. And as the skies open up, I'll end with this. Ain't nothing new under the sun. This is exactly what they do. And they will continue to do it until we say it's no longer tolerable. So today, we say it's no longer tolerable.
Right.
No justice. No peace. We said no justice.
No peace.
Enough is enough.
Right.
Enough is enough.